Good morning, Crestwood. It is good to be with you. Hope you are enjoying this Wednesday morning and enjoying this week so far. I'm so excited that this Sunday we are back in person for worship. It's been a long time coming, and I am so ready to be back with you and to begin to return to that sense of normalcy and community and connection that's so important to us. So make sure you sign up if you haven't already, and you can email the office if you need more information about that. But until then, until I get to see you again in person, I'm honored to provide for you this devotional for Wednesday, April 28th. Today, I'm thinking about snakes. So I'm coming to you from a new location. This is the home that I am renting on Carneal Road here on the north side of Lexington. So excited to be moved in here. My fiance Amy will be joining me after we're married in August. So very excited for this to be our new home together. But my time in this house did not have a great start. So pulled up to meet with the homeowners to do a tour of the house and get out of the car and take about 3 steps towards the front door, and a snake goes slithering in front of me up towards the steps. Now, not a big snake fan, I gotta admit to you. A little bit like Indiana Jones there. Why did it have to be snakes? And so I thought to myself, boy, this is not a good start if one of the first things I see when I go to see this house is a snake. But everything worked out, rented the house. Yesterday morning, go to take the trash out because I learned it was trash day. Moved the trash cans, and underneath were 2 more snakes. These both a little bigger than the other one. And so I thought, all right, God, what are you trying to tell me here? That the animal, the creature that I am not so fond of, keeps showing up at this house. Here's how God works. Last night, leading men's Bible study, we're looking at the Exodus story, specifically Moses, the burning bush. And God calls Moses and says, you're going to go to Egypt and you're going to rescue all my people. And Moses starts to throw up all these excuses. What name do I give them? And how will they know that it's me, that it's you sending me? And I'm not a very good talker and all these things. And so to prove God's power to Moses, God says, Moses, take your staff and throw it on the ground. So Moses takes his staff, throws it on the ground. And what does it turn into? A snake. A snake. In the story, the snake is a representation of God's presence, of God's power, of God's provision, that God will be with Moses wherever he goes. And so that really caused me to rethink my run-ins with the creatures that I have seen here so far. Maybe these aren't warning signs. Maybe they're reminders from God that God is with me, even in the midst of my fears. Even though I might be afraid of snakes, the Moses story reminds me that God is present in all ways and at all times. And so I'm so thankful for the way that this experience has changed how I view God's presence with me. And I wonder how many times we miss God, how many times God's with us and we don't see it. We don't see the burning bush that's right in front of us. And it always reminds me of this wonderful part of a poem from Elizabeth Barrett Browning that I want to read for you. And I'm sure you've heard this. She writes, "Earth is crammed with heaven, and every common bush afire with God, but only he who sees it takes off his shoes. The rest sit round and pluck back blackberries." And so had I not had that story last night, I would have seen those snakes as an intrusion, something to be afraid of. But I'm also reminded, because of that story, that God is present in all things, that every bush is afire with God if we have the eyes to see it. So I'm going to keep my eyes open for snakes around here, but I'm not going to look at them in the same way I did before. I'm going to see them and pause and give thanks to God for the reminder that God is with me, even in the midst of things that maybe I don't necessarily want to be around. So thank you, God, for the ways that you show up in life, especially during times of transition and change, to remind us that we are never alone. God bless you, Crestwood.